Good evening, everyone. Happy Thursday. Today is Thursday, March 26th. This is the day that the Lord has made, and we shall rejoice in it. Excuse me, y'all. We shall rejoice in it. I pray that you have had a wonderful day. Y'all, this week, it ain't even Friday. It's been a long one. It's been long. It's been rough, it's been long, and I'm glad that we are almost there. I don't know who made up that we have to work Monday through Friday. I think it should be Monday through Thursday. We get Friday, actually get a weekend off. Welcome. Please come in and say hello to the community. Let us know who is on here this evening so we can give you a huge shout out. Before we get started, make sure that you subscribe. It takes 30 seconds. Subscribe to our channel, Walking Through the Fire LLC, to make sure that you get all the notifications when we go live and all the updates when things are going on in the community. Make sure you tag somebody. Tell them, come on over. We live, baby. We live, and we always have great conversation, great impactful conversations over here on this street, on this block. Yes. So we'll give you a couple of minutes to make sure you invite somebody to the conversation tonight, and we're just going to get started. Like I stated, I'm tired, but I told y'all, my word for 2026 is consistency. And no matter how I feel, not unless I'm like sick in the bed, no matter how I feel in my body, I am going to press to make sure that I connect with you on Thursdays, to make sure that I am depositing a seed in the community for our growth and for our next. And I want God to be consistent with me. So I got to be consistent in what he has me a steward over. So I'm here. We ain't going to, they say in the preacher's world, you ain't got to be long to be strong. Okay. Yeah. Let me move my table out a little bit. This rain got my body saying, ooh wee. It got me saying, ooh wee, y'all. Again, make sure anytime in this conversation that if you got a question, let's talk about it. That's what we're here. This community is not for you to sit here and listen to me. It's not for me to do all the talking. It's so that we can engage, because I'm telling you, only question that's a dumb question is what? You know, the one you don't ask. I guarantee you that somebody is on this live thinking and feeling the same way you are and wanting some answers to the same questions that you have. We are not in this thing by ourselves the way we think. We are not in this thing. And that's going to be something that we talk about tonight, because tonight's topic is the real world. Are you living in the real world? That's a tongue twister. Are you living in the real world? Again, welcome to Walking Through the Fire. Please make sure that you share, make sure that you comment, make sure that you like, but most importantly, make sure you subscribe. I'm telling you, help us get out into this social media algorithm and into the social media community. And the only way to do that, the only way to spread the word on what we talk about each and every Thursday is that you engage. That's what it is. If you on social media and you meet me here on Thursdays, you know what I'm talking about. Engage. All right, we're going to get ready to get started. So again, welcome to Walking Through the Fire. I am your host, Crystal Majors, and this is a community. This is a safe space where we have real discussions, talking to real people, using real life issues and experiences. And tonight's conversation It's called The Real World. The Real World. I say this is where I'm going to start. I am as much as I am weak in my body but strong in my spirit. I have to give all due honor and praise unto God. Today, March 26th, is a special day for me. It's bitter and it's sweet. It is my 1 year anniversary from when I had surgery. 1 year anniversary, really, when the Lord birthed something within me, even in my weakest moment. Listen to what I'm telling you. Even in the darkest hour and time of my life, God was birthing something greater that I could even think, imagine the possibilities. And so I have to stop and give honor, due honor to God. It's not a cliche when you hear some people, especially me, saying, I give all glory to God who is the head of my life. Some people that is for show. For some people that is emotionalism. For some people that is tradition and rehearsal. But when you experience life, sometimes when you speak things, it hit different. It hit different. It just does. And so I am just thankful because this time last year, I was laid up in the hospital, freshly coming out of my surgery, probably still in surgery at 7:37, because I don't think that I got to my room till 2 in the morning. So my surgery it was on my spine. So it was extensive. So it was for a 4 or 5 hour surgery, definitely. And so I woke up. Well, let me say this. I have spinal stenosis. And what that is the narrowing of your spine. And for those that know anything medically, or you've heard or you researched, if you do any damage to your spine, it's irreversible. We get a scratch, that heals back up. We break a bone, you get a cast to put on it so it'll heal back together. But when you deal with the spine and something injures that, a lot of times that injury is irreversible. Now, they can maybe stop some stuff or fix some stuff, but what's been damaged is already damaged. And so I can remember just getting up on a Tuesday morning, getting ready to go to work and putting both feet on the side of my bed, and my legs are violently tremoring. And the first thing that I could do is just cry. I was panicking, I was scared. I didn't know what was going on. I couldn't walk. I was scaling the wall. I thank God that he's an on-time God and he knows all situations before you even do, because my daughter was supposed to had moved, and for whatever reason, her moving date was pushed back a week. And it just so happened that we both leave out the door at the same time, getting ready to go to work. And I heard her turning the doorknob, and I couldn't do nothing but yell her name. And when I got to the hospital, to hear all the doctors, all the nurses from primary care, neurology, neurosurgery, I mean, whatever ology there was that a doctor was there, department, they came to my room, whether they were there to help me. And one of the doctors blatantly just said, a lot of people been in here, I know, and that's because you are a unicorn. The type of injury that I suffer from only is seen in people that like do construction work that may fall off of buildings or skyscrapers, or if they've been in a traumatic accident. I had neither one. And they kept asking me these same questions over and over again. You've been to the doctor. You know when you got 2 and 3 people coming in and they ask you the same questions over and over again, like they just didn't consult with the person before that. And so that, that just did something to me. But again, from day one, the Lord was speaking to me, telling me to record. I mean, from the moment I stepped in the emergency room, and I wasn't a social media person. I was one that I did the scrolling. I didn't do the posting. If it wasn't about church, my kids, vacation, me being a varsity high school, varsity girls basketball coach, me coaching about my games, about basketball, you didn't see me. So I was hit and miss. Even when I post, I never really went back and said, ooh, who liked that? Ooh, let me see who shared that. I just posted it. And the entire time, the Lord was telling me to do something. And I was thinking to myself, why are you having me record this? But I didn't know that He was birthing something great within me. Like I said, even in my weakest moment. Even in my weakest moment. And so, as even if today is bittersweet, even though you see me now, I still deal with emotional scars. And I know I'm not by myself. People look at you, and we're talking about the real world, okay? People look at you and they only are concerned with the outside, and you may look at me today and say, what, you got a spinal injury, you could barely walk, you couldn't walk, you had to relearn how to walk, and this was how long ago? Only a year ago? But even though you see the way I look on the outside, nobody ever sees what someone is going through on the inside, mentally and emotionally. Emotional and mental scars are covered up with clothes and makeup and hair and jewelry and a mask. But behind closed doors, the conversations that we have to ourselves just to get up and keep going, the trauma that we suffer sometimes in our weakest hour has us wondering, is this real? I know I'm not by myself. I know that you have had a point in your life where you've been in a situation or a position where you had to ask yourself, is this really real? And so I look through that in a lens through the real world, because even though the doctor told me that I would have violent tremors for the rest of my life, but in the same breath he was telling me that, it was going from his lips to my ears. And I started to let that sit with me. We talking about the real world. Being told that you have to have a life-changing, immediate and an emergency surgery so that you won't be paralyzed. And the question you have is, will this get better? They tell you in the real world, it won't get better. I was told I would never walk again without violent tremors. I just had to have the surgery so I wouldn't be paralyzed. And so after I let that sit on me for about, we're going to keep it real, for about a minute, because everything that I was thinking was, this can't be real. My life, you're basically telling me that the quality of life that I'm about to have is over. Just when I hit the prime of my life, just when I am really starting to live. And when I say live, live meaning as a mother, I've raised my children to be productive young adults in society. So I'm an empty nester. My career is flourishing. I'm making moves. I'm making decisions to further my career. Let's keep it real. I told you, we talking about real life situations with real people, and I'm a real person. What you see is what you get. I'm single and ready to mingle, Christian wise. Oh, yeah. I'm like, yeah, I'm ready to be in the Christian streets, the Christendom streets. And you're telling me that now I have a life-changing experience that will affect me for the rest of my life? So while that set on me, God was speaking to me as well, telling me that I am the truth, the way, and the life. And what they say, the real world is what I tell you it is. The real world is what I show you it is. And at that instant, I didn't fight God. Don't ask me why. Well, what did you do? Why did you? I don't know. Only thing I can tell you is I've been in church for 22 years. Half of it was playing church. The other half was really trying to be a change, have a change within me. I wanted to change. And not just change, I wanted to change in God. Because he had showed me some things along the way. Even while I was playing, he brought me out of some situations that even though I was playing, I knew it couldn't have been nobody but him. When people left me, he was the only one that didn't turn his back when he said he was who he was, what he was going to do, and yeah, who he was. He was the only, he didn't show me his representative after 6 months to a year and then change on me. The real world. The real world, people will show you that facade, will show you this is who I want you to think I am, and change up on you in 6 months to a year. God, his representative was who he was yesterday, today, and forevermore. So half of that I didn't change. So when you say, how did you just turn it on and off? God settled me. God gave me peace. God gave me clarity in the snap of a finger. I'm telling you, sometimes all it takes is one word from God to settle every anxiety, to put every doubt to fear. That faith that people talk about, that faith that you claim you got. You know when you got faith, when something go wrong. It's easy to sit around here like we do when things are going good. I'm looking good. I got a smile on my face. You're smelling good. Oh, the household is good. To say, I got faith. But do you have faith to believe the same thing God is telling you when things are breaking all around you? Hell is loose all around you. That's faith. And so my faith in God and all of the Sunday schools and all of the Bible studies and the second services, I was storing up some faith. So when I needed it, when I really needed it, see, I didn't know when I was going to really need it, but God knew that all he had to do was speak one word. And he said, whose report are you going to believe? I'm asking you today, whose report are you going to believe? When the world tries to tell you what is real. Are you living in the real world today? I'm gonna put something on your mind. And so again, just having that faith that no matter what they tell me, I'm gonna walk again. It may take me 5 years, but this is not my. I know God didn't bring you and I to this place to leave us. I know the things, and you know the things I'm telling you, the things that God has spoken over your life, the things that God has told you in your midnight hour, the things that God has shown you in dreams and visions, that you are not going to leave this earth until it comes to pass. That's God's word. And I want to encourage you right here in this moment that no matter how you feel, no matter how dark your cave is, no matter how bad that you feel that it is not going to get better, I don't care how much doubt you have resting in you, God is able. God is able. I am a living, walking testimony. Ask me, I'll tell you. You don't believe me? Go to my social media pages and look at the evidence. The word says you will know them by the fruit that they carry. You look at me then and look at me now, and all you say is look at God. I went to a funeral Saturday before last Saturday to put one of our elders to rest in a homegoing service. Afterwards, I'm sitting around and I'm talking to other men and women of God, and one woman, I love her, she Miss Lisa. She said, "You are a walking miracle." And I'm telling you, have faith because you are a walking miracle as well. God is not done with you yet. He wants you to know that what you perceive to be your reality is not his reality. The word says his thoughts are not our thoughts and his ways is not our ways. And so as I'm going through what I'm going through a year ago in this moment, God created what you listening to now, walking through the fire. I'm telling you that if he can do it for me, he sure enough can do it for you. In your weakest moment, God's strength is made perfect. And I'm letting you know that the same thing he did with me is the same thing that he's doing with you right now as we speak. If you are under the sound of my voice, I'm telling you that though you are weak, God is birthing something great in you. I'm going to believe it for you. I'm going to believe it for you. Because I know what the real world looks like. I know what the real world has to offer. Not the world, but the real world. And so even though they tell me that I have a disability that would affect me for the rest of my life because I have irreparable damage, there's no turning back. I'll always have issues with my limbs. I have metal in my neck. My spine is fused together because they had to take out vertebrae and disc and do something with my spine. I'll always have issues. But one thing I can say is I don't look like what I've been through. And I thank God on today. And I know he hears me. I thank God on today for saving a wretch like me. I thank God on today for using me as an example to let people know that the true and living God is real and that he can do it for me and he sure enough can do it for you. And so, like I said, I'm celebrating God today. I'm celebrating where I used to be. I'm not there no more. Celebrate yourself that you ain't where you used to be. Think about 2023, and that was 3 years ago. Did you walk different? Did you talk different? Did you move different? The people around you, was your circle different? Was the way you responded different? And if don't nobody ever pat you on the back, if don't nobody ever say, I see the growth in you, celebrate yourself because God sees the growth in you. Continue to move forward. Little steps or big steps. But either way, it's better than no steps. So let's get into the real world. And I want to talk about reality versus illusion. And reality is the state of things that actually exist. Okay, that's what that refers to. Meaning, like, forget what you think it's supposed to be. Forget what somebody told you or prophesied it's going to be. What is your state right now? If you're homeless and I say, what world you living in? Talking about, well, right now, I live in a mansion in Geis. That ain't your reality. Your reality is, what do you live in right now? What is going on right now? So it's the state of things that actually exist. Not what you want, not what you think, not what you've been told, not what you hope for, not what you got faith in. It's your reality. What is going on right now? And so and like I said, it is independent of any perception that you may have. It deals in facts, events, experiences, things that you can see, things that you can taste. Those five senses: hear, smell, taste. But the tangible things, that's real. If I pick this water bottle up, it's real in my hand. But if I sit it down talking about I got a water bottle in my hand, is that the truth? Is that facts? Reality deals in facts, events, experiences that you can see, you can measure it, or you can hold it in your hand. Facts, okay? An illusion, on the other hand, is false perception. That's what I'm talking about. What you think. An illusion is you homeless and you think you live in a mansion. How about you got a studio apartment, but you telling people that I got a mansion? That's an illusion. We see it every day, y'all. I know you on social media, whether you the one posting or scrolling. You've seen people and you say, now they know good and well they don't eat like that. They know good and well they don't live like that. They know good and well that ain't their car. Why they fronting? Social media is the biggest illusion act. It is the biggest smokescreen. Social media will have you looking at your home, looking at the car you drive, looking at your kids, looking at the vacations you take, the job you got, the husband or wife you married to, all of it. Because illusion means I'm going to just show you the narrow part of it. I'm going to show you just the good. I ain't going to show you the bad, because that's the truth. We dealing with the real world. And in the real world, you can't go through with your illusion glasses on, as they say, but being delulu. You can't be delusional. You will be surprised how many delusional people are out there. You'll be surprised. And you may not be surprised. But it baffles me, the reality that some people actually live in their head. And sometimes it is so bad that they believe the illusion. Look, Let me tell you how this gets started. We're talking about the real world. Again, if you got any questions, please make sure you put it in the chat. We'll make sure that we get that answer. Make sure that you subscribe to this channel right now. I'll even give you a second to go do it. You can subscribe right now. That's the most important thing. And make sure you share and like and tell somebody to come on into this conversation. I ain't going to be with you too much longer. But listen, before Love and Hip Hop, before Now That's TV, before Baddies, before all of these, because we live in a reality TV nowadays. They had this reality TV show back in like the late 90s to like early, probably like it probably ended like 2019, 2020. It was called The Real World, and it was on MTV. And what it was a reality show, and they had these people on there, men and women, and they followed them every day around in their real life. This is reality TV. And so, as we know that when you look at these shows, I know y'all done heard it say, oh, it's scripted, it's scripted. If it ain't scripted, they do a lot of editing. So you don't see the bloopers. So you don't see the mess ups. So you don't see the things that people don't want you to see. We're talking about illusions in the real world. That's what editing is. In the TV business, the film business, social media business, podcasting, editing. We don't want you to see the bad parts of it. So what do reality TV shows do? Well, then they did their editing. They showed you what they wanted to see, the perception, the illusion. Now, people want to see people arguing. People want to see people fighting and being messy. See, that's what get all the likes. And we talking about the real world. TV shows, and you have to ask yourself, what is the truth nowadays? What you see on TV is a lie. What you see on social media most of the time, I ain't gonna say most of the time, sometimes is an illusion or a lie. The news people, y'all, I stopped watching news. I'm a witness. When I say the real world, if you got to ask God to show you the truth with knowledge and wisdom and understanding. Because until it happens to you, you'll never get what I'm about to say. Because people will believe the lie. People will believe the illusion that their world that they live in is real. My daughter's father passed. I was there on the scene. I know where his body was. I know information that was going on. Do you know that it came on the news? And when I listened to the reporter, I sat there and said, that is a lie. That ain't where he was. That ain't what happened. But the illusion sells. The illusion is so attractive and so distracting that you don't even question if it's the truth. You don't even question it. The real world. What is the truth? Do you know the truth? Is it something somebody told you? Is it something that you just believe this is how it is? So we're talking about reality and we're talking about illusion. And again, illusion, like I said, is that false perception of belief. You believe it's like this. Well, that's how you see it. Just because that's how you see it, don't mean it's the truth. You can have two people. I've done it. I've tested it. You can have two people look at the same image and get two different meanings out of it. And look at it at the same time. Hear the same instructions, hear the same commentary, but they'll come up with two different beliefs and two different perceptions. You know what they say when people get into it is your side of the story, they side of the story, and the truth that lies in the middle. Yeah, I know I'm right about it. I know I'm talking good. The truth that lies in the middle. Because the illusion is it appears to be real, but actually is deceptive and misleading. Videos back in the day, people don't really make a lot of videos. But videos back in the day, they in the video, they got this big old house and they got all this ice around their neck and they popping out and riding down the street in the Lamborghini. And we think that belongs to them. What we don't know is soon as action and that's a wrap hit, that's a wrap. They're taking that jewelry off and taking it back to the jewelry store. The owner of that car is sitting 10 feet away from them as they're making that video to make sure that don't nobody mess up their car. That house that you on there, that you rapping about, that you singing about, that people believe is yours, oh, that's rented. It's an illusion. It's deceptive and misleading to make you think that something is not as it really is. You meet celebrities. A lot of people, I meet celebrities, and that's why I say I'm going to be great. I don't know why. I thank you, but I've met a lot of celebrities, okay? And it's one of those, you meet the good ones, you meet the bad ones that got nasty attitudes. And so I'm talking about illusion now. I'm talking about the real world because we get it misconstrued what the real world is. We see our favorite actors and our favorite artists and they talking about love, and I know they'll be a great partner or they're a great dad, and they just love women. She loves her husband, but when you meet them in person, they got the nastiest attitude. They up here, and then you find them in the news for domestic violence or essaying somebody. But the real world says the illusion is, this person is everything that they singing about, everything that they got in the videos. It belongs to them and they're at this status. And then the real world says they human beings just like you. Don't get drunk off the Kool-Aid. Don't get drunk off the Kool-Aid. The illusion. It's misleading. It's misleading. It causes someone to perceive things in a way that really don't affect or really don't reflect the right now, the truth that exists, their true nature, if you want to say. And so I couldn't remember her name, so I can give her credit, but I'm going to go back. I like to give people credit when credit is due. And so I'm always listening to and gleaning off of other people because it's always good to learn and to get truth. And I heard somebody talking about a fun house, okay? And it just struck me because we're talking about illusion and reality. And so if you've been to a carnival, you've been to an amusement park, they got a fun house. And the fun house has all these different mirrors. We had a woman of God come to our church and preach the house down, okay, for our youth. And she talked about it a little as well. And preached the house down. And you got the fun house, and you got all these different mirrors, okay? And every mirror shows you something different. We're talking about reality and illusion. You got one mirror where I walk in looking like this, But one mirror has my face quiggling, just distorted. One mirror, I'm short, has me tall. Another mirror, if I'm tall, has me short. One mirror will bring me in real skinny, and then the next one, I'll be wide. There's one mirror that your head is elongated and it look like it's stretched out of control. Is that the reality? No, it's an illusion. And so sometimes we, like I'm explaining, we are in a fun house. You're looking at all these different mirrors, which are illusions, which is a smoke screen, which is a distraction from what you truly look like, the reality. We talking about real world. So when you go into this fun house or a house of mirrors, and they got all these different things, the distortions that the mirrors do, do you say to yourself, this is my reality? Some of us do. Some of us look in the mirror and say, I am ugly. You know what behooves me? It be the prettiest people, and I'm talking about women. It be the most beautiful women, the most gorgeous women that, I mean, baby, from the outside looking in and looking at them on the outside, beautiful, got it all together. I mean, hair done, nails done, everything done. I mean, look well put together. And they feel like they are the ugliest person in the world. Have you met somebody like that? You got a man, look well put together, but confidence and low self-esteem. It baffles me. And I look at them and I say, you are beautiful. You know, you handsome. Who wouldn't want you? Just because 15 other girls didn't know how to handle you. You are beautiful. Who told you early in your childhood that you were ugly? What trauma made you believe? What illusion did somebody put in front of you that distorted your reality, that now you're in the real world, and what you see in that fun house looking back at you in that mirror, that you say that's your reality? It's a distraction. It's an illusion. The real world is the truth through God. Who are you getting the truth from? I'm telling you, you better get your truth through God. People say all the time, I don't even care if you in church, you need to get some discernment. Oh, I'm here to help us on tonight. You need to get some discernment. But what is discernment? I'm going to help you. So the next time people say, well, how do I know? What signs do I need to look for when somebody is using me? What signs do I need to look for when I'm being mishandled? Or I'm not in the right relationship, or I'm not in right position? Whatever position that looks like for you. And they say, oh, you know, you need to exercise your discernment. What is that to somebody that is unsaved? What is discernment? What is discernment to somebody that don't necessarily know their word, and fresh as a babe, just now going into church? But here we are telling them, oh, if you want to change your environment, if you want to know if your relationship is the one God wants you to do, get some discernment. I'm here to help us on tonight. Discernment is the ability to recognize and to distinguish between what is true, what is false, rather saying what is right and what is wrong, what is genuine and what is fake. Oh yeah, you can fake. You can spot a fake purse. You can spot some fake Gucci gators, but you can't spot that fakeness in your friend circle. You can't spot the lies, the illusion that the devil is trying to put in front of you. You can't spot that distraction, and you trying to figure out why you can't focus and why you don't do the things you used to do. You don't realize that right there is the lie, is the illusion. So when the next time somebody says, well, you need to operate in discernment, your discernment needs to kick in. Discernment is, again, recognizing, having the ability, because I'm going to talk about how do I get the ability, Crystal? Because having discernment, you don't wake up with discernment. Discernment is like you going to the gym and you trying to lose that gut and get remove your fupa. Okay. Discernment is like that muscle for men that you trying to buff up because you want somebody to see your guns. And the more you exercise that, the more you lift weights, the more you go to the gym. Okay, you go to the gym and you lift weights and you stay disciplined to making sure that you go 2 times a week, 3 times a month, whatever that looks for. And the more you go, the bigger your muscles the bigger your muscles grow. The more you do that core work, the smaller your fupa gets. That's what discernment is. You don't wake up and have the ability to understand and recognize what's good, what's bad. So who told you what was good and what was bad? Was it your parents in your childhood? Was it your teacher? Was it your guardian? Was your auntie, your uncle? Were you like some of us where the streets told us what the truth was? Because that's who raised us? Are you one that the TV or a computer or a cell phone tells you or is telling your kids what the truth is? Because that's what they're looking at. That's what is influencing them. That's what is soaking into their mind like a sponge. That's what you see daily. So in order to have the ability to have discernment, it involves careful judgment. Do you have good judgment? Insight. Can you not just be so superficial or on the surface? Do you have the ability to evaluate situations with wisdom? Meaning you don't clap back so quick. You get the whole picture, both sides, so then you can get the truth in the middle. Or it involves your beliefs and the appearance, often in order to make sound decisions and avoid being misled. So how do I get the ability to have discernment? Do you have good judgment? Do you have wisdom on how to handle situations, conflict resolution, when to shut up, when to talk, when to sit back and observe? If you sit back and observe, baby, you learn a whole lot that you will not learn by opening your mouth. All you got to do is sit back and look at the situation for what it really is, the truth, the real world. All you got to sit back is look at somebody, sit back and observe people and look at how they move when they think you ain't looking. That's when you're going to find the truth. Get down on hard times. That's when you're going to learn the truth. And the truth is, God will always be there. The truth is that God stays faithful. The truth is that God will give you the ability and the wisdom and knowledge to have discernment so that you will know what is true and what is fake, what's reality and what illusion is, so that the world you living in can be the real world. And you don't have blinders over your eyes walking through being delusional. Being delusional. I know y'all know somebody that you say they are so delusional. And it's crazy because they believe their own delusion. They believe their own delusion. I want to talk hard times will tell yes, ma'am. Hi, yo. They sure will. They sure will. Hard times, sis, will have you know what reality is and what's been alive this whole time. Ooh. God is the best disruptor. God is the best exposer. Do you hear me? He is the best exposer. Why? Because God will show you what's true. God will show you what's true. I know you've gotten down and said, because of the situation, you said, Lord, I'm feeling this type of way. I feel like XYZ is happening. I know I'm not crazy. Lord, I need you to expose some stuff for me. Lord, I need you to reveal some stuff to me. Lord, show me what X, Y, and Z is doing. And the Lord do it. Baby, his batting rate is 100, okay? God loves to expose lies. And that's what I'm here to do. I'm his instrument. Because this community is here to expose the lies of the devil so that the truth can have you operate in the real world, focusing on your next. The truth, and when we understand the truth and what the real world is, we'll be better to help our kids a lot better than what we're doing. Because we are passing down delusional generational curses. I said it. A generational curse of being delusional and believing that the illusion is realer than reality. That the distraction is the truth. That what society has said about you is the truth. I'm here in the name of Jesus to break that generational curse of lies, of the illusion. And that you walk in the realness and the reality of this world in God. And I got to back it up with scripture. Because the Bible talks about having discernment. The Bible talks about frequently about reality and illusion, and how illusion will have you married and divorced in a year. Ooh, come on. Illusion will have you put all them red flags that you see in your back pocket and then say, well, he's an abuser. And then say, that lie, that illusion will have you say, she was finer than wine. A month later, because of the stuff that spewed out of her mouth, she was the ugliest person you ever seen. That's that illusion. That's that illusion. It'll mislead you. Baby, the illusion will have you in jail. Come on, y'all. Talk back to me. The illusion will have you dead. The perception of something that is not true, but you're telling yourself this is the truth. An illusion will have you going to hell, and you've been in church all your life, and you risked it all on an illusion. You know how many of us got kids off an illusion? You know how many of us had reckless and toxic relationships that some of us are still in? Some of us, it was hell to pay the captain to get out of because of illusion. and we didn't see the reality, and we didn't operate and live in the real world. But see, look, you know what? Hi, Shamika. For real. Yeah, Lord. I'm telling you, man, that reality TV, because I get my kicks. You say what you want to say, okay? It may not be for you, but see, that keeps me from being messy. See, you know what? We're going to keep it real. Everybody got a little foolishness in them. Everybody got a little messiness in them, okay? And so, me looking at baddies, me looking at loving hip hop, me looking at loving hip hop, Atlanta, Miami, Married to Medicine, those reality TV shows, baby, that give me my dose of foolishness so I don't have to go out here and do it. Okay? I know what's reality and what's an illusion. What I see on TV don't necessarily mean, and it's for me, don't necessarily mean that I need to respond and operate like they do. That's not my reality. That's not my reality. What's your reality today? I want you to really think about, are you living in the real world? Who told you what the truth is? Where did you get that from, that was the truth of the matter? Yolanda, you said illusion will make you go back when you should have stayed delivered. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Help me on tonight, sis. That illusion of, as the woman of God said, they give you that call because you broke up with them because they wasn't no good. They was a cheater then. And I'm talking about men and women. And you get that, hey, big head, what you doing? That illusion, like everything is everything, like I've changed. Hey, this the kicker right here for us saved folk. You know, I just wanted to go to church, see if you was going to church tomorrow. Because, you know, I've been praying and I really need to get closer to God. Illusion. I ain't saying always. But 9 times out of 10, it's illusion. They just trying to get back in your graces. I was going to say something else, so y'all just follow me. Get back in your graces, and it ain't going to take long before the mask come off. Because it wasn't the reality of what was going on now. So let me hit you with this, and I'm gonna get on out your way. When we talked about the discernment and how do I get discernment? Where do I start? What does discernment look like? And I'm telling you, if you want discernment, if you want more discernment, if you want to be more keen to what the Lord is telling you, more obedient, I'm telling you, get into your word. Because the word talks about truth and lies, illusion and reality. And I want to say God's will, it differentiates between truth and illusion. And I want you to think about discernment when people trying to set you up. If you know that you've been doing what you're supposed to be doing, and somebody then drug your name in a situation, and now you find yourself in the middle of dysfunction and chaos, but you know that it ain't the truth, that's when discernment has to kick in and say, I know my reality. What is reality? It's based off some tangible facts, events, things that you can observe and measure. Okay? So if you know your reality is the truth, why clap back at somebody that's trying to set you up for failure and have everybody in this group mad at you, or have you be the scapegoat? Once you realize what's going on, then you know how to operate accordingly. Once you discern, oh, they trying to trick me. Oh, I'm discerning, they trying to use me. Oh, I'm discerning, they trying to bait me into arguing. Once you understand that, you know how to move accordingly. And that's what you need to. Discernment is God telling me what the truth is while they trying to put this smoke screen in front of me, and I'm going to move accordingly. I'm going to move. Discernment will have you out of a lot of stuff that the devil is trying to put you in the middle of. Negativity that's around you, discern when somebody is being negative and don't just let them continue to talk. Don't let them continue to use you as a trash can and you made a vow to the Lord and you didn't told him in your prayer life, Lord, I'm going to stay positive. I want positive people around me. Well, get some discernment when somebody is trying to bring negativity in your atmosphere. Expose the devil for what it is and cut it off at the root. Cut it off at the root. Discernment will have you walking through the fire and you won't get burnt up. Come on. Come on. Discernment is, I'm down right now, but if I just hold on a little while longer, I know God is up to something. He's working behind the scenes for my good. I know it is. I know it is because I know the truth. I know the enemy is telling me that I ain't going to get another job making the same kind of money that I was getting. See, that's the lie. But you keep on moving and listen to the truth that God is telling you, that I will never leave you nor forsake you, and that I will make room for your gifts. And the same dish that people dig for you is the same one they better get ready to roll over in. And the word says, I am the same today, yesterday, today, and forevermore. The word says, I've never seen my seed begging for bread. Come on. Come on. I'm going to give you some more word. Because remember, I told you the scriptures, where you learn how to get discernment, where do you sharpen your discernment sword? Through the word of God. Because only the word tells you the truth. Because remember, I said earlier, your ways is not his ways. Your thoughts is not his thoughts. The way you respond is not the way God gonna respond. I give you a hint. You think about how you will respond to the situation, and God's gonna do the opposite, and that's how you should respond. Whatever you say, do the opposite. Now I'm talking about if it's bad or something, okay? Because some of us got discernment, and I need you to be obedient. Obedient is better than sacrifice, okay? Obedient is the way. Do what God told you to do, okay? But the scripture tells us. So I want to touch on a couple of them. I got one, Proverbs 14 and 12. Because God teaches us about the genuine truth. And he shows in his word how men and women, how mankind can create illusions and what I want to say, create illusions and have your reality being distorted because they're telling you and you don't know for yourself. So Proverbs 14 says, there's a way that appears to be right, but in the end, it leads to death. This is, you hear me say, appears to be right. One thing I'll say is, you can do a good decision, but is it a godly decision? Meaning a good decision is, oh, that look good. That look like something I want to do. But a godly decision is, God, it looks good, but is that for me? Oh, I know I'm single people. It looks good, but is that for me? Because you've been waiting. And like Elder-elect Wood said, it just take 1 second. 1 second. To lose everything you've been waiting for because of the illusion. It leads to death. Death may not be a physical death, and sometimes it is. Because illusions, you play on people's emotions. And when you play with people's emotions, sometimes that can lead to physical death. But we're talking about in this aspect, because it's based on the word, we're talking about that spiritual death. Why? Because it appears to be right, and before you know it, You ain't talking to God like you used to. You ain't going to church like you used to. You start taking on the habits and the characteristics of the person that is creating this illusion, or it has you out of position because you think that this is where I'm supposed to be because I'm making more money and ain't nobody over here telling me what to do, and they let me do whatever I want to do. And because you don't want to take correction, you think that's the right way. But God is saying, in order for you to grow, the word is here to exalt and correct. But you don't want to be corrected. So the illusion is, I'm too grown to be corrected or told anything. So you move out of position. So he's saying it may look right, but it'll lead you to death. It'll lead you to death. The grass ain't greener on the other side. The grass ain't always green on the other side. Another one, John 8:30 and 33, because I like to give you context before the scripture that I really want to focus on and what happens after, because it tells you the truth about the scripture and what's going on and what the context and the meaning and understanding is. So John 8:30 through 33 says, even as he spoke, talking about Jesus, many believed in him. To the Jews who had believed in him, Jesus said, if you hold to my teachings, you are really my disciples. Then you will know the truth, and the truth will set you free. If we hear that all the time, and that was verse 32. The truth will set you free. But do you know the truth? Where are you getting your truth from? I need you to ask yourself that. Where are you getting your truth from? And who told you it was the truth? Check your source. Ooh, God. You know why I say check your source? You know how sometimes people can say, well, Crystal said that your house was nasty, your car nasty, and you ain't got it together. Okay? But Crystal is somebody, I ain't talking about me because this ain't me. Okay, I just use my name. Okay, I don't operate like this. But Crystal is known to be a liar. So if you know discernment, if you know Crystal is a liar, and somebody comes back and tells you Crystal just said all of this about you that was negative, why would you believe the lie? Check your source. So where are you getting your truth from? Check your source. Because their truth might look right, it might feel right, but it may lead you to death. Comments that God will sometimes wreck you before you wreck yourself. That's right. You better check yourself before he do. Because when he do it, it ain't going to feel good. When he do it, oh, you going to lose something in order to gain something. You best believe that. You best believe that, but it's worth everything. It's worth every tear, every cry, every down moment, all of it, to know that God is a faithful God. Another one, and so I want to finish that verse because I wasn't done. John 8:30 and 33. I left off with, then you will know the truth, and the truth will set you free. Listen to this, y'all. We're talking about the illusion, okay? The perception and the belief. They answered him, we are Abraham's descendants and have never been slaves of anyone. So how can you say that we shall be set free? Come on, people. The reality. And sometimes your reality can be spiritual. Meaning, yeah, I know we ain't slaves, but if you chasing a lie, you a slave to the lie. If you chasing the illusion, you a slave to the illusion, and that's not the truth. So if you know the truth, then the truth will set you free. You got to apply it. You can't just know it and not apply the truth. Now that you know, you're responsible. You can't walk around ignorant all your life. I mean, if you want to, you can. But you're going to be on the ignorant island by yourself. You can't be ignorant all your days of your life. The truth will set you free, meaning, have you ever, and I'm going to get real with you, have you ever had something that it was tearing you up to keep it on the inside? You were doing your best. Lord, I don't know if I can keep this. It kept you up. You couldn't eat. Your anxiety level was up. Some of you may even have panic attacks because you could not keep this thing on the inside. And so what do? Once we get it off of our chest, once we talk about it, it felt like a weight was lifted off your shoulders. I know I ain't lying. Why? Because once you told the truth out of your mouth, not just thought it. See, it only manifests when it crosses the thresholds of your lips. Your reality and your illusion. Whatever you speak into the atmosphere is what is going to manifest. What are you speaking to be your reality? Is it an illusion or is it the truth? Or is it the truth? So again, once you release some of that stuff, you feel better. That's why God was saying, once you know the truth will set you free, because the truth will change. Have you changing your attitude. The truth will have you change how you handle people. The truth will have you respond differently. And once you do that, you'll be free for some things that the devil tried to tell you was your truth. You can walk when you ain't. You can be free when you ain't bound no more by lies. When the shackles and the chains are taken off, when the blinders of your eyes are removed like the scales off of Paul's eyes when he was on the Damascus road, when they fell from his eyes, what was it? The truth was revealed. When you stop walking around like this and open your eyes and see the reality of your situation, things will change. When you stop denying that you are at rock bottom and you say, I know I'm at rock bottom, you acknowledge the truth, that's when God got room to work. When you acknowledging the truth says, we quit, especially us Black women, Black people in general. We walk around here like we so rough and stuff. We so tough. We always got to be the strong one. But in reality, we are dying on the inside. Once we start to stop putting on that mask and that facade that everything is okay and we ain't got no problems and my life is just peachy keen, my job is the bomb, my kids they are the best kids ever. Everybody on honor roll, don't nobody get suspended. Everybody talks with respect to all their elders. My spouse is just the best spouse ever. I never have any issues. I never have any confusion. When you admit that you got problems, the truth is going to set you free. Now, God got room to work. God got room to come in and let you know who he is. I'm telling you, if I got a witness, say that's the truth. That's the reality. That's God's reality. I got a couple of more scriptures for you and we're going to get out of here. 2 Corinthians 11:12-15. This one is good because we let man, and when I say man, people of God, I'm talking about men and women, okay? I'm talking about men and women. And I believe that the enemy uses people to be that illusion. Because again, all he got to do is pull you away from God. and you on your way to hell. That's all he got to do. He don't care what he use. He don't care what he says. He don't care what positions he puts you in. He don't care, like I said, who he use, what he says, anything. It could be your kids, your husband, whatever. He is going to do what he does best, and that is to try to come, steal, kill, and destroy your reality. The reality that God says is your reality, which is the truth. And so this is why I like this scripture. He says, and I will keep on doing what I'm doing in order to cut the ground from under those who want an opportunity to be considered equal with us in the things they boast about. For such people are false apostles, deceitful workers, masquerading as apostles of church. And I know I read this scripture, and I know Paul is talking about the teachers, the prophets, the men and women of God, the people of God, that they were misleading them and wasn't telling them the truth about God. They were telling them the truth about tradition, but that wasn't God's truth. That wasn't Jesus's truth. And so I'm not just talking about the people up in the pulpit or the leaders in your church. I'm talking about man and woman. And he says, so if the deceitful workers are the apostles of the Christ and they are masquerading, this is his word. He says, no wonder Satan himself masquerades as an angel of light. It's not surprising then if his servants also masquerade as servants of righteousness. Their end will be what their actions deserve. Who is leading you down that deceitful path? Who is masquerading as good in your life and really they mean you harm? They're trying to pull you away from what God has designed from you. They're trying to pull you away from the truth and the wisdom and knowledge of God. Because once you get the truth, wisdom, and knowledge of God, once you know better, you'll do better. And once you do better, baby, the devil got to watch out. Once you know the truth, the devil is trembling. Because now he says to myself, I've lost another one. There's no way that I can lie to them again. That's when your discernment kick in. Because just because he said I can't lie to him again don't mean he won't try. The word says, no weapon formed against me shall prosper, meaning the devil is going to try to form those weapons to take you out, to make you think that when you going on hard times, even though you believe God's word, that God ain't telling what he told you ain't the truth. That's right. That's when we become an even bigger threat. That's right. Woman of God said it. That's right. I want to be a threat. I want to be a threat to anybody that don't like me. And I mean in the spirit. I mean, I want when I walk past you that my spirit affects you, annoys you, baby, irks you, vexes you. I want to be that kind of threat in the spirit. Oh, yeah. I want to be that one that when I put my feet on the ground, as you heard, the devil say, oh my God, she done got up again. He done raised her up again. Y'all, I done got hot. I'm in here sweating because I know I'm talking good. Because if I ain't talking to you, I'm talking to myself. Be that threat that every time you get up every morning, the devil is scared of you and you ain't scared of the devil. You get up saying, Lord, whatever you got for me today, I'm prepared. Keep me, cover me for today. Don't worry about tomorrow. Worry about today. Because every day is a brand new mercy. Every day is a new grace. My God. And today I'm standing on, and I know I got some witnesses. New grace in the name of Jesus. A new flow of God's spirit. It's time to, I know he's talking to some of y'all. Y'all, he's been talking to me. He told me to do something 2 months ago. I didn't do it. We talking real. I didn't do it. But that thing wouldn't let me go. I can't tell you what it was because God didn't release me and I'm doing it. He told me. And I just sat there and I sat there. My distraction was being on TikTok. My distraction was looking at those reality TV shows. My distraction was, oh, I'm tired. But as soon as I surrendered and said, you know what? Obedience is better than sacrifice. What he's telling me to do, I'm going to do it. I'm going to have to leave that distraction alone. I'm going to have to suck up whether I'm tired or not, because I do a lot of stuff that I don't want to do when I'm tired. I do a lot of stuff that when I'm tired, I still do. Because it tickles my fancy, because that's something I want to do. So I got to be obedient. As soon as I did it, y'all, the man of God that is the watchman over my soul prophesied to the house that there was a new grace about to hit not only the house collectively at New Unity, but individually. And I believe it and I receive it. And I know that's why God told me to do what he told me to do. He told me to do it early. But I thank God before that word hit that house that I was being obedient. So now I got faith that no matter what's coming, and see, the devil hears exactly what I'm saying too, so I'm prepared. No matter what comes, I got a new grace that's hitting my house now. I ain't expecting it. I am declaring it that it's here. I declare that new grace fall on you right now, and the truth will set you free. Be obedient to what God is asking you to do. Be obedient, because the distraction will be wrapped up, or what I want to say, in a suit and a skirt. The distraction will be wrapped up in a suit and a skirt. The distraction will be wrapped up in a new series that then came on. A distraction will be dressed up with a whisper in your ear to tell you that you'll never be what God called you to be. You're never going to overcome the situation you're in. But I serve a God that surpasses all understanding. And that I'm going to tell you, ears have not heard and eyes have not seen what God got in store for you. The last one I want to leave with you is Matthew 7:15. We're talking about reality and illusion. I've asked it before, but what is your real world consisting of? What is your truth, and who told you what the truth was? Matthew 7:15 says, beware of false prophets, which come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly they are raving wolves. Raving wolves. And you'll know them by their fruit. Like I said, you want to get some discernment? Shut your pie hole, sit back, and peep game. Y'all like that? Peep game. Sit back and observe what's going on. How people move when you're not, when they don't think you're looking. See how people move, because you will know them by the fruit that they carry. And anybody that got good fruit, you're going to see it in their lives. It's not going to just be what come out of their mouth. It's not just going to be because they look good and they're well put together. Their lives will line up with the fruit that they bear. If their fruit is rotten, it ain't going to take long. You know how you got an apple that kind of look good, and I don't even eat apples, but an apple look good, but you bite it and you can tell it's brown on the inside? Or how about a banana? I'm a banana girl. Banana look good on the outside, don't look bruised or nothing. As soon as you take it off, you got a little brown bruise. Didn't know that it wasn't put together on the inside like it looks like on the outside. It was a wolf in sheep clothing. The fruit looked good, but when I started to peel back the layers, my God, when I started to peel back the layers, the fruit was rotten. The tree ain't no good. Yeah. I want to leave you with this, people. I want to leave you with this quote, okay? Time has been well spent. I thank you. We talked about the real world. And so I want to leave you with, not everyone will understand your journey, and that's okay. Keep going anyway, because your purpose is bigger than their opinion. I'm going to say that again. Your purpose is bigger than their opinion. What world are you living in? Are you living in the real world? Or are you living in a world full of illusion and distraction? What is your truth on today, and where are you getting your truth from? If you've gotten your truth from the streets, if you've gotten your truth from somebody that you looked up to, if you've gotten your truth from your trauma, your past disappointments and hurts, if you've gotten your truth from your childhood, I beg you to open your word and know what God's truth is for you. Because that's the truth that will stand against anything. That is the truth that will bring you out of the darkness into the marvelous light. And that is the truth that will set you free. It will be a burden. He is a burden bearer and a heavy load sharer. Give it to him. Put down the distractions. Take off the glasses of illusion. Cast away the mirage. Get out of the fun house with all those distorted mirrors. Because what you're looking at in that distorted mirror is not your truth. It's not your truth. People, I thank you. I thank you for hanging in with me every single Thursday. I appreciate it. I can't do what I do without you. I can't be a part of a community with one person. So I thank you. I thank you for sticking with me. I thank you for listening to me. I thank you for engaging with me, because again, this is just nothing that I do. This is something that God birthed out of me, and this is his ministry. And the most important thing for me is to make sure that I'm impactful, that I'm making a difference, and that I'm helping my brother and sister to operate in our next, so that the next generation can become better in theirs. So thank you. Meet me back here next Thursday at 7:30. You can also follow me on social media platforms, Facebook, Walking Through the Fire. I am on TikTok, Crystal Majors 159, as well as Instagram. You can catch me on there as Anointed 37. Guys, until then, I want you to have a safe weekend, a safe week. May God keep you. May God cover you. And may God continue to bless you. Have a great evening. See y'all.